Alright traders, you're welcome back to this particular video, and in this video I'll be explaining what is liquidity void for you and how to use this information for trading. In other words, liquidity void simply means an imbalance in price action, and from the word you heard liquidity void, which means there is void of liquidity in that price action. Alright, let me show you that. Now, whenever you come to your chart and you see price quickly moves away from a level like you can see right here with such a very big candlesticks, this is what we call a liquidity void. This is happening because there is void of sellers in this particular upward movement, which is this one. There are no much sellers to match up the orders from the buyers, and that is why you see price quickly moves away from here. And always mark this, every time there is a liquidity void, the algorithm or the chart will always balance itself. You're going to see price coming back to balance a liquidity void in the future. This is what happens time and time and again. Every time there is a liquidity void as such, you see price quickly moves away from this level and you see these very big candles. And the next thing you want to see is for price to balance it in the nearest future, right? You're going to see this time and again. This is why we call it a liquidity void. Now, in a liquidity void, there are a series of fair value gaps. You'll find them there because you may ask then, what is the difference between a fair value gap and a liquidity void, since all of them are known as imbalances. Now, in this liquidity void, you can actually see several fair value gaps, right? So you're going to see a lot of fair value gaps in the liquidity void, but price will eventually balance up because fair value gaps forms this kind of liquidity void. Price will balance all of it and close all the void that is left so that price will find it proper to continue moving. So after filling up a liquidity void, the next thing price will do is to keep going up, all right? If we have another void, price is going to definitely come back and fill it up before moving. All right, right here you can actually see price having this quick move up from this level. It is called a liquidity void. And what next did we see? Price balancing in this particular void. The next thing you want to see is this. Can you see this price action? Do we consider this to be a liquidity void? Yes. And I think the move up right here was trying to balance this void. And in a void, you're going to see a lot of fair value gaps. All right, so price will come and balance it or to fill it up just to make the price action a balanced price action. If you go across your chart, every time there is a liquidity void, you're going to see price balancing it in the nearest future. All right, a liquidity void coming in, and the next thing you see is a balance. All right, going through your chart, you're going to see liquidity void is a quick displacement of price from a certain level, and you're going to see price balancing it in the nearest future. All right, liquidity void and a balance coming in. All right, liquidity void and this entire movement is the balance coming in. So just to make you understand this properly, price does not leave a liquidity void unbalanced. All right, price does not leave a liquidity void unbalanced. A liquidity void, the next thing that came in was the balance. All right, a liquidity void, the next thing that came in is the balance. All right, every time you see a liquidity void, you're gonna see a balance. A liquidity void, you will see a liquidity void by the kind of candles it prints, a quick move away from a level with a very big candles. Look at the balance coming in. All right, so time and again you can go through your chart and check if you can see a liquidity void right here, and a balance coming in the next move. All right, a liquidity void and a balance time and again. All right, I hope you've understood what a liquidity void is in this simple explanation. In the next video, we'll go further into explaining all the 7 institutional reference points, and I want you to pay attention because at the end of everything, we are going to make sense out of everything we've been discussing so far. We're going to bring them together and come up with a professional trading style. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next video.